right, ladies and gentlemen, hey there, I'm John Gray, and I'm just plain living here and proud to have my sister back up here,
Hi, John.
Miss Peggy Burton.
I'm glad to
Yay,
be back.
Peggy's back.
Oh, gosh, I thought I would never get out of my
How long
house.
did you stay in your house, Peggy?
I stayed within my premises there. I did get to the garage once in a while. For 11, I think it was 11 days. 8, 9, 10 days maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know, it was a long time. I couldn't get off my hill. I mean, it just wouldn't thaw out.
You could have gotten off, you just couldn't have gotten back.
Right. Whenever the storm started out, it was a Wednesday, then the next Wednesday is before I got out.
Yeah. Had plenty of food, I'm sure.
I did. But
You're well prepared, lady.
My friend Lori and her partner brought me cat food. You can't let your cat starve.
Oh, heavens no. How did Jazz Man think about all of that snow?
Well, he just was enamored with it. He watched it out the window, but he started to go out once, but it pulled back and stayed. Poor thing.
Dottie went outside a little bit and bounced around, and the more she did, the less she wanted to go the next time.
Yeah, it's too cold. Even
How
animals.
old is Jazz Man?
Maybe 5 months by now.
Okay, well,
but
see,
he's as big as a horse.
Dottie's about 2. And
2
she's
years.
finally, 2 years old, she finally has figured out she likes to be outside. And when she goes outside, I guess it took her a while to figure out that we were going to let her back in.
Yeah.
Or back out once she came in, so she wouldn't come in.
Oh, she was afraid she
At
couldn't
first,
get out.
she's afraid
Yeah.
she couldn't get back out, and now she realizes she can go in and out whenever she wants to.
Yeah.
So it's a easy deal now. She goes outside and it's raining. Next thing you know, she's sitting on the window ledge, and
Yeah.
you open the door and she comes in like a bullet.
You know, my sunroom has 2 doors, one by the pool and then one toward the garage. Well, I'll let the cat out by the pool, and within 30 seconds, he's at the other door, ready to come in.
Ready to come back in.
That's his outside.
There you go.
He just-
Hey,
30 seconds.
it's nice inside
Yeah.
there. It's warm in there. There's food in there.
I mean, I really am grateful for having electricity,
Yes.
honestly.
And we need to thank those folks who kept it on for us and worked out in the dark and at midnight all night long,
know.
freezing 9 degrees below zero. And there they are up on a light pole.
You know, how grateful I am that I don't have to go to work, and those people have to go to work. They can't stop.
No, they can't.
They just have to
Everybody
do it.
else gets to stop, but they don't. Sort of like the air conditioning man. You know, in building a new house, the air conditioning man never gets to feel air conditioning.
Right.
He's up in an attic or down in
I
a
know.
basement
I worry
where
about
it's
that.
sweltering hot, and as soon as he gets it operational,
He has to leave.
he has to leave and go somewhere else where there's no air
I know.
conditioning. Don't you know he's happy to get home?
Absolutely. That's a lot of work.
Hey,
Valentine.
behind you,
Look at that.
we got Valentine's
We got
stuff.
Valentine, and I was going to say, you know, South
Isn't that
Jackson
beautiful?
Street Band is doing. I love this. Is it something special or just a little
No,
pillow?
it's just something that I found laying around.
That is pretty.
You know how it won't stand up the way I want it to, but I'll make that happen for next time.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that we're still having the Valentine dance, which is always fabulous at Bell Buckle Banquet Hall, and Samantha Terrell Waters will be singing.
She won't.
Yes, she will.
I bet she will.
She's fabulous.
And I bet her mom and dad will be down there
They'll
dancing.
be down there, and of course they have Jerry singing, and
Sure.
it'll go on with
Now,
great.
what day is that?
It's on the 10th. That's the 10th before the 14th.
The 14th.
And they decided
And that's
Saturday
so-
was the best time.
That's not this Saturday.
No, it's
coming.
February the 10th.
Well, tomorrow's the first
I
day
know,
of
and
February.
I just can't wrap my head around it. But I have always done that job, and I loved it and still love it. But this year, due to circumstances, I decided I'd drop out for this event. And but I hope it'll be filled with people having fun and games.
So, now you won't be there.
There's a possibility that I could, but I have not allowed myself to sing.
Okay.
I wanted Samantha to do this job, and she'll do a
But
great
as
job.
the band leader,
Well, I'll go if I can. I'm not really the leader.
yes, you are.
Well, I just supported
There
it.
is no South
and-
Jackson Street Band without Peggy Burton. It wouldn't even exist.
Thank you, John. That's sweet.
Just like so many other things around here that wouldn't exist without the fingerprints of Peggy Burton on them.
Alan Johnson is an excellent director.
Okay.
He has done great things for the band, and he keeps wonderful musicians involved, and we have substitutes for almost everybody, and you know, it's time sometimes to step back and let somebody else do it. But I'll go back. They'll have to run me off.
It's like Glenn Miller busting his baton and not showing up at a gig because somebody else is using a baton.
Did
He
that
still
happen?
runs the band.
Yeah,
He still is the spirit.
that's right. It's I love Glenn Miller music.
Oh, outstanding.
honestly-
And Bix Beiderbecke, he was the
Yeah.
one that did a bunch of stuff like Glenn Miller.
Yeah.
A lot of that old music.
I do need to mention this. Tim Taylor, who is a fabulous dance instructor, is going to do a dance class at 6 p.m. on the 10th. So people interested in learning some ballroom steps need to show up at 6 o'clock, and that's just included in what we're going to have there. And I set that up, and Tim has done lots of places where you go and compete.
Right.
And won big prizes. And so I hope there'll be some people that would be interested in
Oh, yeah.
learning some
A lot
steps.
of people go down there just to be able to dance.
Right, and others just
There's
go
not
to,
many places you get to go and dance to that kind of music.
Another reason they go is the fabulous food.
The food is
Oh my
outstanding.
gosh. I'll have
Food is
to,
outstanding.
it's
Sure
just
is.
wonderful. Anyway, a great night for Valentine. Bell
And
Booker Banquet Hall.
I hear that congratulations are in order for Miss Michaela Gressel. That
I'm so
she
glad
has
she's doing
been
that.
chosen to be the young lady who will be the leader of the
Miss
Miss
Tullahoma.
Tullahoma contest.
And it's moving into the
pageant.
Civic. Right, it's moving into the Civic Center.
It's going to the Civic Center, and Michaela is, of course, Greg's daughter, and she's been involved in won many pageants.
I'm sure.
Beautiful young lady.
And we're so blessed to have her come back to the
well,
community.
she's teaching, I think,
I
in
know.
middle school?
So-
Math? Something like
And
that.
this thrills me to death when a young person decides to come back.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, it's...
And that's going to change. The format, of course, is moving to South Jackson, but it's going to turn into a scholarship pageant.
Which I think it should be.
Which it should be. You're exactly right. The Distinguished Young Woman is another event that young ladies can
Young
go
ladies
to
can go
that
there.
has scholarship attached to it.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah. And so we're looking forward to it. We've filmed every one of them for the last 32 years. And Greg has given us the nod in that we will be able to continue as we
I'm
have
so
in
glad,
the past, as should be.
As it should be, of course.
And so we're looking forward to that and all the new and fun things that'll happen because of that.
Is it still going to be for high school students?
It will be.
Or is
It will be at this point. You have to be a student in the Tullahoma City school system,
Okay.
or you have to be homeschooled within the city limits of Tullahoma.
Okay, I wondered about the homeschool, so I'm glad for that.
And so, they will continue to have the junior miss,
They're going
the
to-
big miss, and of course the little miss,
the little baby.
the little
miss.
babies, and I think that's from 4 to 6. And you will have to be a resident of Tullahoma
to be involved.
to be involved in that as well.
I think that's awesome.
Oh, it is. It's going to be fun, and there'll be, and there'll be a concession stand. There'll be, it'll be different than the other. Now, one thing I haven't discussed, and I hope, and I know everybody else, particularly the young women, hope that there'll be the escorts dance.
Oh my gosh, I'd hate to miss that.
Because those young girls love to see those young boys dance. And it's so funny when we're there doing that, and all the girls that are in the pageant, when it's time for the escorts dance, they come running down the hall without their shoes on and line up in the back and watch the escorts dance.
The escorts.
So, it's a good deal.
Well, I think that, and I was going to ask, but I should have read everything. I haven't had a lot of time.
You've had a lot going on.
I got a lot going on, and I was just wondering, is there a talent component in this particular pageant?
No, well, there wasn't. No, I don't think there is. But
okay,
I don't know yet.
But there is a talent
in
the other one. There is a talent component in
no. Distinguished Young Woman?
Distinguished Young Woman.
Yeah, I really don't know. I've really not
I think there
kept
is.
up with that so much.
I think there is. But I think that's a move that's going to make it probably a bigger event.
And there'll be people naysay what's going on because of change, and a lot of people just don't like change.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
But the high school and Miss Woodard, who had done it for years and years and years and years,
she was fabulous.
And the high school was ready to let it go, and it went from when I was the master of ceremonies in 1967. There was 156 girls in Miss Tullahoma.
You are kidding me. Wow.
And last year, I think we had 28. So, but there's other things for young women to do now.
Right.
To make their mark. They don't have to march across stage to make their mark. But I think, and Sharon had problems getting a date because sometimes she didn't know whether there'd be enough young girls to do it.
Right.
But
there's so much going on.
With this new life breathed into it, I think that what South Jackson will bring there and what they have to offer and what Michaela has to offer, that there's going to be a rebirth there that's going to be wonderful.
I think so. I don't know if we've ever mentioned this or not, but in April, where the Celtic Cup used to have the festival, the Celtic Festival.
Piping on the Green.
Piping on the Green, they're going to move it to the Civic Center this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's turned into such a big event.
Because
they don't have space.
They don't have the space, and they're so gracious.
And that's what the Civic Center is for.
Right.
That's what that square, that downtown square, which is what it was, was designated for things exactly like that. And it's taken years and years and years for everybody to realize that that's why that place is there.
I think it's taken a Greg Gressel. His brain is going in 50 directions, which is awesome.
Good for him.
Awesome. He has done so much for us.
And people, like I said, people don't agree always with what's going on. But I want you to remember this. Only the one not pulling the cart has the time to throw its contents into the ditch.
Wow.
So
only the one
not pulling the cart has the time to throw its contents into the ditch.
How did you think that up?
Well, we have people who provide and give and create and build, and let's say Tullahoma's the cart. And there's people for years have struggled and strived and worked hard and donated and gave for Tullahoma to be the town that it is right now. Those are the ones who fill the cart and have pulled the cart down the path to where we are right now. And the only way you can empty the cart, have time to empty the cart, is if you ain't pulling.
Or put anything in it.
Or putting anything in.
That's really good.
Just keep that in mind. We'll be back after these messages.
let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. The trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. We're all about libraries today. I have the most wonderful people on the set with me. I have Samantha on that end, and this is Courtney. Courtney's the new director. When did you take that over?
It's been 1 year, so beginning of January last year.
And so you have dug in, and you're starting some new stuff.
Absolutely,
and it's a big shoes to fill.
Sure is.
It really is, regardless of what you've done. So let's talk a little bit about, you said you were doing some new shelving and new stuff. Let's talk about that a little.
Yeah, so Sam came to me one day and said, I want to try this. I saw this on a blog. Do you mind if I try it? I said, show me what you mean. Sam, do you want to talk about dynamic shelving?
Okay. Dynamic shelving is basically it gives your shelving more visual appeal. So we'll have more books that are facing outwards, more signage. Think of like the way
dynamic
shelving
is what you call it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. We started to turn. We were already kind of doing it with the new shelves, but now we're going into the older books so people can. Because a lot of times when something's new, it's checked out the whole time it's new. So once it qualifies, once it's back, it qualifies for older, the stacks again.
You're trying to make it more visual for people to be able to see it when they are quickly rather than having to dig for it. That's what I'm thinking.
All over here, especially kids being told, okay, you've got 2 minutes to find something.
That's hard.
Yes, it is.
So you think this is going to make it easier?
Faster?
And
it already has. We've had a lot of positive feedback about it. The first day we had it up, everybody was telling us, wow, this is so great. I found this book. I would have never found it if it wasn't
Awesome.
facing out. It's not something I would normally grab, but it was facing out and it looked good and it's new, so I grabbed it. So it's already really popular with our
And so
patrons.
you instigated that.
Well, Sam did.
Oh, both.
Sam came to me and
Yeah.
asked, I want to try this new thing. I said, sure, let me see an example. I saw an example. I said, I love it. Do it everywhere. And she did, and it looks amazing, and we get a
That
lot
is
of positive
great.
feedback.
That's great.
I know for me, I found some of the best books I've ever read just browsing, and sometimes you don't know what you want until you see it.
Right.
Exactly.
You don't judge a book by its cover, but come on, you kind of do.
You're right. That's true. And I know you do stuff for children.
Yes.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
So actually our February program's coming up. We always have a story time on Wednesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. for the preschool ages. We do songs and activities, and we read a book, and we do a craft. That's every Wednesday and Friday at 10 a.m.
And how long does it last?
About an hour, usually
That's a
45
great
minutes
thing
to an
do.
hour. Yeah.
Is that just certain age kids?
Usually the preschool age kids, yeah.
Okay.
And then we
And are
have
you
a
having
special story time on Thursdays at 10:30 for the Under 3 Club. So that's for just what it sounds like, babies 0 to 3 years old.
Is it
and we
chaotic
do-
at times?
No, actually, it's really
I
great.
think that's so
it's a great.
sweet.
It's a great place for parents and the little ones to interact and kind of build some of those social skills, especially if they don't have a sibling at home, where they can learn sharing and interaction.
And
with
it gets
other
them away
people.
from the TV and away
Yeah.
from cell
Yeah.
phones and computers, and I think it gives them a social outlet
Definitely.
and
Yeah.
a great time to learn.
Yeah.
I love that.
For February, we are having a lot of other programs. So on Monday the 5th, we are having homeschool art. We do this every month. It's at 10 a.m. on Monday. And it's just like what it sounds. We have
Do they come in
homeschool
and
kids
paint
that come in,
and
and we do different. I think one month we did painting. One month we made ornaments for Christmas. This month, I think we're making DIY Valentine's Day
Oh, sweet.
cards.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll
So
be fun for all the
we
kids.
have a lot of really fun activities, and that's all going to be on our calendar, on our Facebook page, and on our website, lanham.org.
And so your Facebook page, just Tullahoma Library?
Coffee County Lanham
County.
Library. If you don't put in the Coffee County, you probably won't find us. It's sort of tricky.
Glad you said that. Coffee County Library.
Yes.
Okay. And any other big things coming up?
Yes, actually, I
Let's
really
hear it all.
wanted to talk about Fine Amnesty Month. So for the month of February, we are having Fine Amnesty. So what that means is any overdue fines accrued between February 1st and February 29th will be waived. You won't have to pay any overdue
So if
fines.
you've got a bunch of books at your house that you haven't turned in,
Yeah, maybe bring them back in
Bring them
February.
to the library.
And really, that really is kind of what we were hoping for with Fine Amnesty, is that if you have books at home that have been out for a long time, and maybe you've been billed for those books, but they're still in good condition, and you still have them, you can bring them back into the library
Good.
during February, and we will remove all of those fines associated with those items.
that's pretty amazing
Yeah.
and a
We
generous,
want to,
generous thing to do.
We understand that life happens, and we're just hoping to get people back into the library that really need to come back into the library. And for
COVID.
whatever reason,
COVID
COVID,
kept people out.
life happens, and we just want to make it easier for patrons to
That's
come
wonderful.
back to us shame-free.
That's wonderful. So how many members do you have any idea how many members of the library?
Last count, I think we had about 10,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an amazing number
Yeah.
for this size town
Right. Yeah.
area. I think that is great. Samantha, you got any other big ideas? Since you had such success with the
We'll see. We'll see how this goes.
yeah.
Yeah. I really think that the dynamic shelving is going really well. And, it's not the only improvement that we've made at the library. We've added a fresh coat of paint behind the circulation
good.
desk so that it looks a little cleaner. We've updated our circulation desk. It's much more inviting and open
Good.
and cleaned up. And, it's really easy to update a building when it has been neglected for so long. And that's all I'm trying to do really, is just kind of get everything updated and cleaned up.
In almost any thing like
Yeah.
that, when you go into it and you want to make improvements, Do y'all have a lot of money, or do you need some donations?
We have funding for specific line items that we're able to use. So we've been able to make improvements little bits at a time. And it really is the little things that make a big difference. So it doesn't take a whole lot to do these improvements. But when we do need funding, we do have some plumbing work that needs to be done and some carpeting that needs to be updated. And we'll probably have to go to the county for that.
Well, and maybe there'd be a volunteer out there that knows how to do some of those things that would come in. So you need a plumber.
Yes.
And a painter once in a while. And I think that there are people that love to help. And if they'll come in, it would save some money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
we would welcome it.
And especially people that love to read. I love to read, but I don't see as well as I used to, so I've got to start listening to books more.
Yeah.
How did the time go so fast? I guess we have to go. Well, Courtney and Samantha, thank you for what you do. I mean, there's a world of literature out there, and people need to read it.
Thank you for having us.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the start of the political season, and this past Saturday night at Tullahoma High School, we had an event down there where the only people that are running this time to be, I think, to this first event is school board. And we have 6 candidates for the Tullahoma City School Board, and they were all down at the Tullahoma High School auditorium or classroom down there, speaking room, and had an event down there where they all introduced themselves, told a little bit about themselves, and answered questions. And we're going to bring you part of that right now, but we will have it on our network maybe by this afternoon. Philip will be working on it, and you can be able to watch the whole thing. It's about an hour and a half long. And be educated about who you want to vote for and why you want to vote for them. And better than that, or along with that, make sure you go out and vote. We need to be involved in our community. Go out and vote and understand the candidate that you're voting for. And one of the ways to do that is watch what we put on the television for you, and it's coming up right now.
Good evening, and first I want to thank Tullahoma High School for hosting this event, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone here for taking the time to be here tonight and to meet us and voice your opinions and get more information about who we are, where we come from, and what we're trying to do. My name is Brock Compton. A lot of you probably have no idea who I am, so I'll give you the cliff notes. I'm a Tennessean, born and raised. I probably served in the United States Marine Corps for 5 years. I served in the Army National Guard for 4 years. I worked as a private contractor for the Air Force and for the Army Special Operations Air Regiment. I'm currently working here at Tullahoma Regional Airport with the Vanderbilt program, the Life Flight program, keeping them in the air to save lives, do what they do, the amazing work that they do every day. I've been blessed with the most wonderful wife, Caitlin. We moved here in 2019. She is also an Air Force veteran for 6 years, and we have 2 amazing children. Our daughter, she's 6 today. We spent all day at Build-A-Bear and Chuck E. Cheese's, so you'll have to bear with me. She's a Bel Air Bee. She absolutely loves going to school. She loves her teachers, and I've never seen a kid get upset about having a snow day and not being able to go to school. So that's a good testament to our teachers and what they're doing for our kids. I also have a son. He's 2.5. He'll be at Bel Air soon. Unfortunately, they grow up too quick. But we're excited for him to get started and see the man that he becomes. But tonight I'm here. I'm running for school board, not as a politician, but as a dad. I'm running because I want my kids to have the best opportunity for a higher education and quality education. I want them to be set up for long-term success, not just at school, but for the community. And regardless, set up for success long after they leave Tullahoma. But it's not just my kids that I'm concerned about. It's all the kids, regardless of demographics, regardless of income, regardless of whatever obstacles you want to put in front of them to learn. They deserve the very best that we can give them because they are the future of our town. And as a community, I believe it's our duty to give them the very best opportunities to succeed in life, and then some. They all deserve a solid education, and we can do that. And I believe we can do that through career, college prep courses, technical education courses, and other great programs taught by talented educators that are passionate about guiding our students to success and putting the kids first in every decision, no matter what the decision. So that's me, and thank you.
Hello, my name is Fanchon Miller, and I'm seeking your support to serve on the Tullahoma Board of Education. I am the daughter of a career military veteran and a school teacher. Home for me was never in one place more than a few years, as it was wherever the military sent my dad. We were stationed all over the U.S., in Europe, and in Japan, but it only mattered that our family was together. I was raised with Southern conservative Christian values. Honesty, integrity, and compassion are important characteristics that had been instilled in me and now in my son. I am a single working mom, and my son and I moved to Tullahoma in 2017. A graduate of Virginia Tech, my professional expertise is in business and data analytics. Since our arrival, I have been honored to be part of an amazing team of parents who are supporting our church youth. You may or may not be aware, but our school system was recently awarded a grade of C by the State Board of Education. This was a complete shock to me, and probably to you as well. But recent research reveals that our school system has actually been in slow decline for over a decade, dropping from number 73 to 121 in the state. Our test rank dropped from 105 to 147. placing TCS in the bottom 50th percentile. All 4 of our surrounding districts rank higher than we do. We are number 5 out of 5. We must reverse this trend. As a parent of a high schooler, my focus as a school board member will always be on school safety and promoting academic curriculum and programs that prepare all of TCS students for long-term success. These include a focus on achieving academic excellence, improving our students' physical and mental health, identifying and reducing bullying and harassment, emphasizing substance abuse prevention, and cultivating and instilling leadership and teamwork. I understand the importance of teamwork and collaboration, and I want to empower parents to be involved in their children's education every step of the way. I look forward to earning your trust, your vote, and serving our community on the Board of Education. I humbly ask for your support in helping to uphold our traditional American values in our schools and bringing our schools back up to the reputation for excellence that it deserves. I will be available for questions and to meet you after the forum, and I thank all of you for taking time on your Saturday evening. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kim Copeland Usselton, and I am running for one of the 3 seats of the 4-year term for the Tullahoma City Schools Board of Education. My fondness for and dedication to Tullahoma City Schools is that of a former student, 1st through 12th grade, where I graduated THS with the great class of 1978. A teacher at Jack T. Farah, where I was honored to be named Teacher of the Year, an educational assistant at Robert E. Lee, a full-time volunteer, multiple-year PTO president, golf booster president, and parent of 2 boys who attended and graduated from TCS. But my most important role related to TCS is that of a board member, where I have served since 2012, and in the position as board chairman for the past 4 years. I'm a level 4 on TSBA's boardsmanship program and have hundreds of credits beyond what is required. I have attended all state conventions and 10 of 12 national conventions. I have been a moderator and a facilitator. In 2021, I was honored to receive the All Tennessee School Board Award. Board work goes far beyond the boardroom. I have spent many hours on the Hill advocating for Tullahoma students, faculty, and staff, as well as for students in public education across Tennessee. I worked closely with former board member Jessica Fogarty when Senator Janice Bowling carried a bill for us that would allow for school districts to have the choice of tests due to the concerns surrounding 10 Ready. I have testified before the Senate Education Committee. I attend legislative gatherings and never pass up the opportunity to speak in support of THS and voice concerns if necessary. I graduated from the Coffee County Leadership Program in 2022. I'm a board member for the Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce and a vice president of the executive board. My love of education began in September of 1966 when I sat at a desk in the 1st grade room of Mrs. Emmylou Huddleston at Robert E. Lee, where I was handed a cool, somewhat damp, strange-smelling ditto with a block A and an apple with a worm coming out of it printed on it. The love continued with Marty Sims, Margaret Russo, Gloria Crick, John Rickman, Ann Hickerson, Virginia Woodall, Mike Bryant, and Ann Baldwin, to name a very few. I thought teachers were magic, and at 63, I know they are. Strong schools help communities to thrive, and Tullahoma is no exception. My grandmother was a cafeteria worker at South Jackson. My mother graduated high school from what was for me East Junior High. All 5 of my siblings and all of their children attended and graduated from TCS. My husband's parents and his siblings all attended and graduated from TCS. Tullahoma is not just where I live, and Tullahoma City Schools are not just where I attend. They are a bigger part of who I am. I'm running again because my passion for Tullahoma City Schools has not waned in 57 years. There are great things happening and more to accomplish.
I'm Pat Welch, and first I want to tell you that I absolutely loved school. I'm a graduate of THS and Tennessee Tech, where I received a bachelor's in secondary education with highest honors. I then coached and taught at Battleground Academy in Franklin, Tennessee for 3 years before returning to Tullahoma to work and to eventually manage the Builder Supply Company. After coming home, I continued to invest in young people. For over 30 years, I've taught high school Sunday school, coached in the Frank Mullins Youth Football League, coached Church League Basketball League, coached Little League Baseball for 10 years, and coached in our youth wrestling program for 31 years. In 2017, I was inducted in the Tennessee chapter of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, and in 2022, I was inducted into the Tennessee AAU Wrestling Hall of Fame. I've also invested in Tullahoma. I've served as a city alderman, served as chairman of the Tullahoma Industrial Board, served as president of the Tullahoma Chamber of Commerce, and served as a board member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes for over 40 years. I've invested in our school system. I've served the Board of Education since 2000 and served as board chairman for 8 years. Since 2018, I've served as a state director of TSBA, which is the Tennessee School Board Association, and I represent school systems of the South Central District, which is 16 systems. In 2017, I was named to the All Tennessee School Board, and I'm currently enjoying being a reading buddy at Bel Air Elementary. I've used my experience with the Builder's Supply while serving on the maintenance committee. While on the board, we have built 2 new schools, West Middle and East Lincoln, remodeled this fine auditorium, and rebuilt Wilkins Stadium, and we're currently involved in a major addition at Farrah Elementary. Finally, in 2017, I was named the Chamber's Citizen of the Year Award, and in 2019, the Tullahoma News Citizen of the Year. I would respectfully ask the voters to consider re-electing me to serve as board member of Tullahoma City School System.
Good evening. My name is Rosie Graham, and I'm seeking the election to the 2-year and expired term on the Tullahoma City School Board. First, I'm running because I am passionate about education and the role it plays in improving people's lives. Let me ask you this. If you didn't grow up here, beside coming to this area for a job, why did you pick Tullahoma? And if you did grow up here, what was the major reason you stayed? It was likely for the same reason that I did when we moved here some 48 years ago. We were told you want to live in Tullahoma because the schools are the best in the area. I believe that schools have an enormous impact on the communities that they serve. This leads me to my second reason for seeking office. I believe that I have a responsibility as a citizen to contribute to my community. And I think that my strong commitment to education, my skills and experience in the workforce, and my years of community involvement provide me with unique qualifications and perspectives to offer as a school board member. I served for 12 years on the Tullahoma City School Board from 1998 to 2010. As a board member and 2 years as chairman, I come with a comprehensive understanding of the tremendous responsibilities involved in being on a school board. I have taught for 40 years as an associate professor of computer science and mathematics at Motlow College. From this, I bring to the board not only my experience as an educator, but also a unique perspective from those students who have come through our school systems. I have over 55 years of experience as a computer programmer analyst, both in the workforce, at IBM in the space program, at AEDC in engine testing, and as a college educator. From my professional experience, I have extensive computer knowledge to share with the school system. I have a long history of participation in the performing arts in this area, in theaters and in the schools. My advocacy for the arts provides an understanding of how these non-core curriculum add to the education of our children. I have also served my community through my church, in social and philanthropic groups, in youth programs, and in volunteer service. From these associations, I bring to the board the voices of the many people I know and with whom I have served through the years. The Tullahoma City School System has long been a drawing card to this community because of its vision for excellence in education, and I would welcome the opportunity to once again add my voice and experience to this board as it works through today's challenges in education. If elected, I will work tirelessly as a team member on the board to listen to ideas, to learn from the facts, to lead with conviction, and as we seek to provide the best education for all the students in Tullahoma, with the hope that they become successful citizens, adding their voice to making Tullahoma a great place to live. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Beth Harrison, and I am excited to be running for Tullahoma City Board of Education. I currently hold a seat on the board, having been appointed by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen in March of last year. My husband Jeff and I moved to Tullahoma 9 years ago, and I'm the mother of 4 children attending Tullahoma City schools. I live out the decisions made by the school board every day. Like most families, I'm at school drop-offs and parent-teacher conferences, IEP meetings, and concerts and games, and I feel that it's important to have someone on the board who actually has children attending our schools. Someone who has a vested interest in the success of our students. I will have children attending Tullahoma City schools likely for the next 17 years, so the future of the school system is immensely important to me and to my family. I'm also a passionate advocate for individuals with special needs, as my 2 youngest children, my daughters, have disabilities. I'm a graduate of the Volunteer Advocacy Project at Vanderbilt Kennedy Center, where I received training to support families and children receiving special education services. I'm also a family engagement specialist with the ARC Tennessee. The ARC is a nonprofit that provides services, resources, and opportunities to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families. Specifically, I work collaboratively on a project with the Tennessee Department of Education to help parents and caregivers increase their knowledge and involvement in special education. I believe that all of Tullahoma's students have the right to a free, appropriate public education, and that we should do our best to prepare each student for a meaningful and productive future. I hold the conviction that public education is extremely important, not just for the students, but for the benefit of the community at large, because healthy schools lead to healthy communities. I would be delighted to continue to work collaboratively with the board and ensure a quality education for all of TCS students, and I would be honored to have your support. Thank you.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Get ready to make a splash for a cause. The Duck River Watershed Society invites you to its 3rd annual Spring Cleanup event on Saturday, March 2nd from noon until 3 at the Fire Lake Public Use and Boat Ramp area in Manchester, Tennessee. Be part of the movement for sustainability, health, and education for the Duck River, America's most diverse waterway, home to over 650 aquatic species and water supply for more than 300,000 people. Mark your calendars and register to meet us at River Forge Road on March 2nd. Let's clean up, team up, and make a splash together.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, there's a lot of things that need to be worked on in this world, and there's not enough quite people that want to take on the projects that need to be done. But we're fortunate today to have two people here that are right in the middle of the ad that you just saw earlier about cleaning up the lake and the river. And this is Michael Wofford and Macy Irwin. Irwin. And they're here to tell us exactly what's going to happen with the cleanup and how things are going, and all things good.
Yes, sir. That new project is March 2nd, first Saturday in March from 12 to 3.
Right.
And this is our third annual trash pickup on Normandy Lake. And so we'll meet at the Fire Lake boat ramp and spend 3 hours picking up trash around that area. And this year we're expecting possibly 100 volunteers.
Outstanding.
And, we've got some partners in that. Bonnaroo Works Fund. TVA is going to bring 2 gentlemen and a trash barge to help us move trash around and bring it back to our large dumpster. LKQ, Coffee County Middle School, Tennessee Duck River Development Agency, and Coffee County itself. And we're expecting folks from all over, Scout Troops, Trail Life Scout Troops, Webb School, and Coffee County Middle School.
We will be attending Cleanup Day. I teach 6th grade. We have 3 different 6th grade teams. So there are altogether about 200, approximately 200 students.
That's wonderful.
That will be working on projects that are centered around the Duck River watershed. So a big part of Tennessee State standards for 6th grade encompasses watershed and the water cycle and how climate and weather are affected by those things. And so we are doing projects based off of our local area. They're going to be doing some public service announcements, and then they'll also be doing QR code presentations that will be available at the cleanup day for people to learn a little bit more about the effects of climate and climate and weather on our watershed here.
Well, I'm very, very glad to hear that type of education is going on in our schools. And you know, sometimes I look back at the stuff that I was taught many years ago, and I think, well, I wonder if these kids are even getting taught that kind of stuff. And from time to time, I have someone like you come on here that makes me realize that, yes, they're still learning about how a drop of rain on top of a mountain becomes a river and a lake and the things in between, and how we as citizens need to make sure they stay clean. Mm-hmm. I mean, the most important thing that there is on this planet is not us, it's the water that keeps us alive.
Yeah, we hope lots of folks show up. We need volunteers to come help clean up Normandy Lake. We hope people come be involved. And as a member of the board of the Duck River Watershed Society, we hope you go to our website and register for this event and show up and come early. We're going to have some food just before noon, and then we'll send you out on your way to help us pick up some trash.
You know what, when you do that, What's some of the weirdest stuff that y'all have found when you're going through I know there's probably tires and this and that and the other, but what have you really found, like old bicycle or something like that down in there?
Sure. The definitely the most difficult thing to deal with is tires.
Yeah.
And last year we took away a pickup truck load and a full trailer of tires, and they can't go in the dumpster. They have to go to a different location. Right. And so the tires are the most difficult thing to deal with, weight, usually size-wise, and just the fact that we can't put them in the dumpster that we have there for the trash. Right. We got to take them somewhere else.
Right, right.
And other than the tires, we fill up. Last year we filled up about 2/3 of one of the long dumpsters that looks like the size of a box car.
30 yard.
Yeah. And it's fun to be involved in that kind of thing. I guess the most unusual thing to be picked up are baby dolls.
What?
Baby dolls.
Really?
Yeah. Kid toys. And so that's kind of unusual, but tires are the biggest problematic.
I mean, you think a baby doll gets blown out of a boat or something like that? How do baby dolls end up in the lake?
I don't know. But there are coves at Normandy.
Any Barbies? Have you found any old Barbies down there?
I don't know. But, you know, there are coves in the lake that, because of the wind, collect the trash that come. And you can take 30 to 40 people in one cove, and that be all you do for the afternoon. It overwhelms 30 to 40 people. One cove of the lake. And so
where it blows up in there and it can't get out.
Right. And so we can't get done. It's a project that's bigger than we can do. And just from the Fire Lake boat ramp where we're going to gather, you know, our reach is just so far. So we do the shoreline around that area, some coves and some local areas. We actually clean up a cemetery nearby, and the local neighborhood leading down to Fire Lake also comes and is active, and we have a four-wheel drive club come help us, and a group from Webb School, group from Coffee County, 2 local scout troops, a local Trail Life scout troop, and we hope you come join us also.
Well, I tell you what, I just think it's wonderful that both of you are involved, and to know that school kids are being taught the right kind of stuff about nature and about how this whole world really works and how we've got to take care of it, because you know we mess too much up. We're not going to destroy the earth. We'll just destroy the environment that we need to survive on Earth, and the Earth will come back 1,000 years later probably better than before. But we want to thank you for doing what you do.
Thanks for having us.
And know that you're always welcome. And good luck. And come back to see us when you need to. You always come anytime you need it.
Very good.
And thank you for your service as a school teacher, because that is not just a job anymore, it's a calling.
Yes.
And it's a ministry in itself.
Yes,
so
it is.
Appreciate both
Yes,
of
it
you,
is.
and good luck. And we'll be back after these messages.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton's Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with sodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get ready to make a splash for a cause. The Duck River Watershed Society invites you to its 3rd annual spring cleanup event on Saturday, March 2nd from noon until 3 at the Fire Lake Public Use and Boat Ramp area in Manchester, Tennessee. Be part of the movement for sustainability, health, and education for the Duck River, America's most diverse waterway, home to over 650 aquatic species and water supply for more than 300,000 people. Mark your calendars and register to meet us at River Forge Road on March 2nd. Let's clean up, team up, and make a splash together.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is, it's safer than going for a run. Give it a shot. Find a free appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
Times are very challenging right now, and stress levels are high.
Reports indicate overdoses on the rise in communities across the state of Tennessee.
Those experiencing addiction and their loved ones may be struggling to navigate through all the change.
We want you to know that deaths from overdose are preventable.
And help is available.
Anytime.
Day or night.
How do I know?
How do I know?
I am a face of recovery in Tennessee.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello everyone, 101, John Rickman here. And this is Pat Welch, and John, we're here for segment 101, the encore of the Conversations with John and Pat.
Back in the country, Pat, you know, if a farmer, you buy eggs from a farmer, lots of times they'll throw an extra one in case one is not good, not is rotten or whatever.
Or a baker's dozen, the 13th.
Baker's dozen.
That's right.
So this is a baker's dozen here.
This is a true encore, called and by heavy demand from our fans and from management.
This is a little slower song that I've been doing, is one that Jimmy Rogers did, but I like it. It sort of has a Stephen Foster
John, I noticed that you made sure you knew who the management had to chip in, who the writer of the previous segment song was.
He corrected me. No, he didn't. He gave me information I didn't have.
He aided us.
I'm getting tired of these big city lights, tired of the glamour, tired of the nights. In all of my dreams, I'm wandering once more back to my home and that old river shore. I'm so sad and weary, far away from home, missing Mississippi and you, dear. Days are sad and dreary everywhere I roam, missing Mississippi and you. Wandering this wide world over, always alone and so blue, longing for my homeland, muddy water shore, missing Mississippi and you.
Oh, John, that's some moving. Even management chipped in a little bit on that.
He knew that. That was a Jimmy Rogers, but you know, Merle Haggard did that, and a lot of other people did too. It was a good song.
I can't listen to anything melancholy like that with the river description in it without thinking about the old story about General Stonewall Jackson that we've mentioned before. He was mortally wounded at Chancellorsville, lost his arm, but while he's rehabbing, he got pneumonia. And he was lucid up to the point of his death, and he was a strong Christian, really devout Christian. And right before he died, he said that he was getting ready to cross over the river and rest in the trees on the other shore. I thought what a great analogy to death that was.
Good picture. We're going to talk about a fella that grew up in Warren County near Viola. And show the first picture, if you will. That's him in the center with the vest on. He was principal at Forest School in Chapel Hill. His name was Jess Nunley. And he is the father of Dr. Joe Nunley, who is at MTSU and professor there. And also he is the father of Shot Nunley, who is at McMinnville. And I interviewed Shot not too long ago about his dad. His dad was there at Chapel Hill for many, many years, and
John, let me make sure I'm right. That's at
Chapel Hill there.
The Nunley that Warren County, it's his father while he was at Chapel Hill, because that lady's
right.
to his
This
right's got a forest.
Yeah, this
shirt,
Mr. Nunley
sweater on.
Was I'll tell you a little bit about his upbringing. He was born 1892 in the mountains of Warren County near Viola. During that time, approximately 70% of Warren County's population lived in the woodlands, mountains, hills, and hollows. Jess was one of 17 children and lived totally impoverished. He lived in a one-room, dirt-floored shack at the head of Fult's Cove. His dad, Norman, married 3 times, and Jess's mom, Letty, was the father's second wife.
And his first 2 dying from childbirth or sickness?
1 and 3. 1, 2, and this is about the second one, his mom. In 1902, a flu epidemic in that region took the life of Mom Letty, and an infant brother took both of them. At just 10 years of age, using crude tools and whatever lumber available, Jess built a coffin large enough to hold both bodies. He borrowed a team of mules.
Wait a minute. Jess built, when he was 10 years old, built his mother's and his siblings' coffin?
Where his dad was at this time is unknown. There's no story about that. But he saw the need to go ahead and build a coffin. He borrowed a team of mules.
John, sometime I hope today gets a little bit more cheery, but keep going.
It will. and he put both bodies, mother and brother, in that coffin and took them to Mount Zion Cemetery. And education seemed to be Jess's light in his world. He attended the Todd School there at Viola, and he was a smart kid. And later on, he would, Mr. Todd, the headmaster, would ask the people in Warren County, the education folks, you need to hire this guy as a teacher. He shows a lot of promise. So he did this. Jess was a teacher in Warren County in some of the little small schools. But Jess, in 1916, yearned for some freedom. Let's go ahead and show the next picture, if you will. Now, this is Mr. Nunley right there at the top right. That's him. And, that's a good thing for a principal to do. Get a picture with the basketball team.
Successful one.
Yeah, that's my mother, third from the right there. That's Kat Rickman. She's 102 now.
Wow.
That's my mother. And the next picture,
John, you've gone all. Shouldn't this have been segment 100? You've held the best for the encore.
We wanted to keep it Tullahoma, but this is a Tullahoma Connect. Mr. Nunley was principal there at Chapel Hill. That second to the right is a Tullahoma connection. That's Mr. Robert E. Lee, and he was on the faculty over at Chapel Hill. Mr. Robert E. Lee became superintendent in Lewisburg, and then later on superintendent
in
here
Tullahoma.
in Tullahoma. Yeah. And let's go to the next picture. Who is this man? Let me tell you about this gentleman. Mr. Jess Nunley, finally, he taught a few years, and he said he got tired of teaching, wanted to see some adventure in life. So he got on his motorcycle, Indian motorbikes, with 2 friends, and they headed out west. And they wound up in Columbus, Mexico. And he and his buddy found jobs building corduroy roads. And just so happened, the notorious...
Which is taking logs.
Side by side, making streets or roads with logs.
Now that would be some hard work right there.
And they were working hard. Just so happened, the notorious Mexican revolutionary Francisco Pancho Villa attacked the small town of Columbus where they were working. And gunfire broke out on the streets, killing 17 citizens. In a short period of time, U.S. General John Blackjack Pershing's troops sent by President Woodrow Wilson came along pursuing Villa's band. The 3 Tennessee lads were unharmed, but Jess immediately decided he'd seen enough excitement and teaching really wasn't so bad after all.
Being raised in a shack, dirt floors with 17 children was better than being attacked by Pancho Villa.
That's right. The friends made it back to the mid-state on 2 of the Indian bikes using parts off one which had broken down and left on the roadside. Now, one of those guys that went with him was Wendell Oakley, and I guess Wendell Oakley was the dad of a Wendell Oakley I knew, probably.
Of the druggist.
Yeah.
And his son Kim would have gone to school with me.
Yeah. I know. Shot when I interviewed him, he knew all of them. But when he got back, Middle Tennessee State Teachers College at Murfreesboro become a 4-year institution. So he decided to attend there, and he taught at Mulberry, and he taught in maybe a few other positions, but he wound up getting this principal's job over at Chapel Hill. And he recalled there were 2 troublemakers in the school that teachers had warned him against, and they heckled him during an assembly, and he took
that was assembly, from what I understand, on opening day.
Yeah, on opening day.
So he'd been down there on the auditorium stage, laying the law down, and somebody's heckling. That would have.
He took them both by the ear, both ears, and took them out the front steps. Said, "Don't come back till you act right." And all the students, from that time on, they respected him because he's going to do what he was going to keep order. Now, they stayed in Chapel Hill over there for about 16 years, and Joe Nunley, the son, who was a coach at Lynchburg, and I think we made mention that Joe Nunley was a good coach. He was also, Joe Nunley, the son, was also assistant coach under Creed McClure at McMinnville.
Either City or Central.
City or Central, one or the other.
Mr. McClure went from there to Tullahoma.
Right, and Joe went probably to Lynchburg, and Joe had rheumatic fever, and I think he decided to go to school and get a good education and all. But Jess Nunley, the dad, this is an interesting story. When he decided to come back to Chapel Hill, everything had loaded up. They'd taken everything back to Viola. That's where they were going to live next. And all they had left was a upright piano and a Jersey cow.
That was left in Chapel Hill.
Left in Chapel Hill. They had a little, farming area. So they loaded that upright piano and put the cow on a halter and put it beside the upright piano in the truck. He said that cow was real gentle and rode all the way to Viola. Don't you know that was a sight going through Shelbyville and Tullahoma?
With a piano and a cow.
Show the next picture there, Philip. Now, Joe Nunley, the son of Mr. Jess, would have these occasions. He called them a coon hunter.
Now, John, let me ask you a question, too.
Sir.
From our Rotary days together, Shot Nunley was a big Rotarian, I believe, in McMinnville.
He was a governor.
Okay.
He was a Rotary governor.
So it's his grandfather that coached your mother.
Yeah. His father.
What did I say? Grandfather.
He actually did coach. The principal just stood in the picture. Down on the other end, we didn't show that. The coach was down on the far end.
But he was.
But that's a good thing for a principal to do. Get them pictures. Get those pictures. Let those parents know that you're with the team.
Well, I've shook you up 4 or 5 times here now. Now this is this coaching and teaching reunion that
MTSU professors, people from Chapel Hill, people from Lynchburg, Joe Nunley acquaintances, they all come up there. Some people cook.
What Joe Nunley, though, was kind of revered by the coaches that would go to summer school a lot in Middle Tennessee.
He's well thought of.
What was the deal there? Was there just a natural gravitation to him?
He was a good storyteller.
Yeah.
Joe could tell a good story. Show the next picture there, Philip. This is, you know who that is with a hat on in the back? That is Dr. Don Emery. He was Joe would give people assignments, and Dr. Emery was a part of the cooking crew. Was this when Dr. Emery was at teaching at MTSU before? This was 1976, I believe, or 75 or 76.
All right, he'd been at MTSU at the time.
But that's Dr. Sams that's in front.
He was a revered teacher there too.
Yeah, those names, and brother Womack. Bob Womack was well thought of.
He was a historian.
Bob LaLance. And I was in the musician group. You know, I didn't have to cook. All I had to do was eat and play music. That's my...
John,
do we have another picture?
Our encore. Wait just a second here. I got the butt in here. This the encore. We're going to take our time today. From I taught for 3 years after I got out of school, and this deal, I didn't realize, I'm not near as...
You weren't invited.
I'm not as jealous now as I was, because I imagined something a whole lot more luxurious in that shack that y'all gathered at. But it was a real invitation to be coveted.
Shirley Majors was there. First time I went, Shirley Majors was there, and I thought, golly, I'd listened to him tell stories. And I'd listened to those guys telling stories, and it was on a cloud. It was nice.
Well, I didn't realize that Dr. Emery was he was on the cooking crew.
Yeah.
Now, from what I understood, that most of the stories were told by Mr. Nunley and some of those MTSU professors, and somebody that would have been my age, if I'd never been illustrious enough to get the invite, he was there to get the firewood. And
is there one more picture, Philip?
Do the labor.
Yeah, that's my daddy on the left. That's Ike Rickman on the left.
Now, how did he get invited?
Dean, well, he's related to me, Pat. He's related.
Wow.
And then Dean Delk, my cousin's husband, and then there's
an esteemed. They've got schools named after him.
Joe Nunley, and the guy on the right was our neighbor across the road in Chapel Hill, Clarence Pyle, a farmer. And Joe invited folks there, and we all loved it. And they loved Joe, and Joe loved them. Is that all the pictures, Philip?
I hope Dr. Emery gets to see this.
Dr. Emery helped me out with those pictures. And Philip, could we go to that one in front of the shack again with all the people?
Yeah, I want to see that, so I won't be so upset about never being invited.
You know, a man needs to know how to dress when he goes to something like that. And Dr. Emery is there in white pants. He's the one in the front, squatted down in front with white pants on. You know a doctor's a doctor, no matter where he goes.
That's right. He's got a certain level of prestige to live up to.
Thank you, Dr. Emery. Appreciate that.
That is a great picture and a great story.
101 Encore, that's what we have.
101 is over. We hope management allows the marathon, and we may go into future negotiations. But right now, we're over and out, even though we've got a story or two left somewhere. Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Senior Living. Active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we're going to remind you that South Jackson Street Band will be
in Bell Buckle
Banquet Hall on the 10th.
Saturday night.
And go down there and get those tickets, eat some good food, listen to some good music, and dance like nobody's watching.
And I think we're going to play. We're going to show.
Yeah, we're going to show
a video
little bit.
right now.
We just want to thank everybody for watching. I'm glad you got through the cold weather and snow. I'm sure we'll have some more before spring really comes, but it's around the corner. So be kind to one another. Get ready to go outside and frolic and play. Huh?
Frolic and play.
Frolic and play. Love you. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.